self-care is not selfish. It's actually the biggest part of showing love that you could offer to your family, your friends, and your community.
As women, we nurture and take care of the world. And so it's just so important to make your health, your self-care numero uno. So
get around people who are going where you want to go and who are where you want to be. And that's exactly what I did. I wanted to be in real estate, so I got around people who were doing things in real estate that I wanted to do.
So you might not be able to move things around or change what happened to you, but if you can change the way that you see it and how you're reacting to it, there's a way.
Just do what you have to do. There's no excuse. This morning, I knew that if I didn't get up at 4 a.m. and clear out my emails and do everything that I needed to do.
You don't want the government to dictate or a judge to dictate how your hard-earned sacrifice and wealth gets distributed to your family and your loved ones.
Our culture is embedded in American culture. There are people who come to America and engage in American culture, which is Black culture. So Juneteenth is really about Black culture, and it's about celebrating us, celebrating the different diasporas of Black people, even the dialects.
Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to 2026. How y'all doing? Good afternoon, family, and welcome to our Juneteenth Lunch and Learn, the 2026 version. I'm Athenia Rodney, founder of Juneteenth NYC, and I'm honored to be here today as we kick off a powerful new year of education, culture, and community building. Today's conversation is part of something much bigger than a single event. It's about legacy, it's about knowledge, and how we continue to honor our culture in modern and meaningful ways. We're here to talk today about African intelligence, what that is, why it matters, what here is history, innovation, how it all comes together in a global way. So today I'm joined by someone who truly embodies that intersection of culture and mastery and education and innovation and global stylist, the king of Thando Kefele. But before we go into having him join us, we do have a short video from one of the creators of this as well, Makeba. And she wasn't able to be with us on today. But she did send us a video to showcase and to talk a little bit about her part in being in this project as well. So we're going to watch a little video and then we'll be right back. The video. We got the video ready? Maybe not. Okay. I think we got a little bit of technical difficulties. So we'll be back with the video. And we'll see what's happening on that end. But in the interim, I'm going to introduce to you our speaker and partner extraordinaire for today's session. I know he's always like, Athena, you're a best. But Mr. Kefele, come to join us to the stage. Hello, hello. How you doing today?
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. So, I know for people who may be meeting you for the first time, as when I first experienced you with Juneteenth at our Black King celebration, I was like, who is this brother? He is a whole handful. But when I got to sit and talk with you and spend time with you, I was like, oh my gosh, he is such a spirit. And I just love who you embody. I loved everything about you, your kindness. And it was like, yeah, I'm sitting here, I'm reading all these accolades about you and how you were on these stages, and you're just so humble. Like your spirit is just like, yeah, it is what it is. It's like, we can't stress over life. We gotta we gotta enjoy the life that we have, like just so many things. So we definitely, I know I took affinity to you. And I know you took affinity to my children. Because you was like, get out of here. But talk to us a little bit about your connection with Juneteenth before we even get into everything else.
Juneteenth is necessary. We need more platforms that celebrate us and make us aware of where we came from and how it affects us today. Absolutely. Juneteenth is freedom. Juneteenth is expression. And thank you for doing the work around it.
Absolutely. I mean, when I grew up, I didn't know anything about it. It took me a while to learn. I'm still learning. And as I learn, I teach. So I can only I consider myself to be knowledged, or in the books, so to speak. And it was something that I didn't know a lot about. And it's still a lot of uncovering to do. And not just uncovering of the history itself, but uncovering of the cultural. It's like a lot of weeds over the topic of what Juneteenth is and what it stands for. I feel like that's our key to like success. And once we really hit home and we're in that undergird, which for me is unity, like us coming together and stop with the, oh, you're that culture and you're this culture, and or you didn't experience slavery the same way my ancestors did. And I'm like, not for nothing, you wasn't there. Like, none of us were there, so we really don't know the stories other than what we've heard. And as we always know, there's multiple sides to a story: the person who was in it, the person who experienced it and made it happen, and then those who are around it who saw. I thank you for saying that Juneteenth is necessary, and I thank you for saying yes to the call to be a Black Kings ambassador honoree, and to carry that torch along the lines with so many other African American men in our community that are doing the work and that are leading with culture and with creativity and with life and vision. So talking about all of those things, tell us a little bit about who you are and why tell us why we nominated you. I like to hear from you, because so many times we are always in this space of telling the whole story and we're like, oh yeah, I forgot I did all of that. I want you to share with us why you think we nominated you.
Because I've done some work.
What kind of work? Where you been?
I've been a natural hairstylist, loctician, and what I do, or what I say I do, is that I teach our people how to love, honor, and respect the hair that God gave us. I coach melanated people to choose locks, to choose healthy hair. Not only does it support healthy hair, it supports a mind state. It supports a psyche. It's self-realignment. And I believe that our people need that. They need to know that we are all that we ever needed, and that the way that we show up, that God made no mistakes. And I always feel that when God created Black people, he was showing off.
He was. He definitely broke the mold. I know when he made me, he broke the mold. I was like, yes. I love that you said that. Thando. So, I got the fortunate opportunity to be able to sit in your chair, and when I did to get my locks done, you absolutely did a number of things. One, you interviewed me. And was like, what do you do? How do how is your scalp? How do you how do you sleep with your hair? Like, what do you put on it? Like all of these things. And I was like, okay, okay, you're gonna give me some elixir or something, and you were like, no, if somebody's not asking you questions, then they shouldn't be touching your hair. And I was like, you know what? That totally makes sense. Like I get that. So you educated me in a space that, for me, I'm like, hair is it's a external follicle, and after I cut my hair off to grow my locks, I'm like, hair is hair, like, and I think I say now hair is hair, but I think if I lost my hair, I would probably be devastated. So I say that in a non, I guess, cultural context, but I do want to understand a little bit more about your journey in here and culture and education, and where did that begin?
So my mom had locks when I was 7.
Hmm.
I'm now 57.
Okay. Now, did she call it locks or did she call it dreads?
I don't remember what she called it.
Okay.
But all I know is that my mom was extremely pro-Black, extremely conscious, spiritual, and after her divorce, she married a Panamanian,
Okay.
and he was a musician, um, and he had locks, and I believe that was her inspiration to lock as well.
Okay.
And I was inspired by my mom's fearlessness to choose a hairstyle that was not popular.
Hmm. Interesting.
And so the little boy who told her, don't come to my school like that, is now the older man
Wait, you told your mother don't come to my school looking like that?
because I didn't understand, and kids are not nice,
Oh my
you
gosh.
know, and you can't be talking about my mama.
Some fighting words right there. Them some fighting words. No, I trust me, I get it. Because I was one of those people. I'm like, oh mom, maybe you don't have to come. So, I made sure I was extra good at school so she have a reason to come to my school.
So the little boy who told his mom, don't come to my school like that,
Is
is now
now.
the grown man who is teaching at schools.
Come on now. Come on now. And I
So,
hope you're sharing this story in the schools as well when you are in spaces so that people can, regardless of how they're showing up or how their mom showed up or shows up, that they're comfortable in that as well. Awesome. So talk to me so you talked about your story about how you got into like the I guess the here in the here idea based on your mom, right? But how did you go into knowing that this was like a calling for you? Was it something that you knew that you were always going to do? Was it something that you kind of like played around with and it's like, oh, this is kind of fun? Like what was it?
so when I was younger, I used to have my hair coiled
Hmm.
by the institution of Knaps.
Okay.
Knaps was a salon in Brooklyn led by the vision of the godfather of natural hair, Mr. Adamola Mandela.
Okay.
He owned and created the institution of Knaps. They had 3 locations, one on DeKalb, one on Flatbush, one on Fulton Street. And Knaps meant kinky and nappy.
Hmm.
It was one of the first institutions that acknowledged and serviced our hair as a business. I was a client. I used to get my hair coiled. I was fascinated by the way it was done. And for whatever reason, I tried to mimic it. I had no desire to become a hairstylist. I actually was trying to be a rap artist. But I started coiling people's hair, and people in the neighborhood started to say that I was good. Um, and that was becoming a thing where I was just doing it, not for an exchange of money. I was just doing it. I was
Mm.
working in corporate America, and there came a time where I just said, I don't want to work for the establishment anymore. And so years passed. I went to Locks and Chops, which is the elevation of Knaps, and I got a training in natural hair. I got a training in culture. I got a training in discipline. And here I am, Tondo Kafele, a 30-year veteran, and I'm doing locks. But I feel at this stage, I'm done with doing hair. I'm doing minds. And so
Mm.
I've done the work with hair in a physical sense, and now I'm doing minds. I'm doing um, more, less of this
Mm-hmm.
and more of this,
Got it.
more of this, more of this.
Got it. I received that. I definitely received that. And I see that is where, yeah, I see all of that. I was on your live yesterday with what was it?
Terra, the barber.
Tara the Barbara, and he was talking about just that too. Like, a lot of, like, you were in a space of how can we stop, like, the arguing? How can we stop, like, making people wrong? How can we say yes and instead of yes or, kind of scenarios, and just being able to be on different platforms and to be able to share that, I think, and it's right, is helping us as a community. And so I want to jump into the African intelligence here show, performance, presentation, platform, the everything that it is. And I want to learn a little bit more about the behind the scenes. Like, why, like, what made you say we have to do this?
It's time.
Mm.
There is elevation and growth in everything.
Mm.
And from my view, I haven't seen elevation and growth in the hair show, in the industry, in the way we are speaking, in the way we are being. And so when you see disappointments and upsets, instead of criticizing, do something about it.
Mm.
And so I was inspired to do something about it. And so I need to be the change of what I want to see shift.
Mm.
And African intelligence showed up.
I like that. So, what is the shift that needs to happen in our community that the African Intelligence Here Show expects to bring to the table?
That we are in an industry where everyone is doing the work,
Mm-hmm.
the mechanical, but who supplies the education?
Mm.
Who supplies the foundation? Who steps into leadership and carves a new path?
Mm. Speaking about that, one of the things that, again, when I was sitting in your chair that you shared was about getting licensed and what the whole idea of being licensed about. And I shared with you when I'm out here in Georgia, I like to go to the hair salons. And when I'm talking to them, because I do marketing, I'm always asking them questions like, what are you looking at doing after you finish school? Like, what's your next step? Like, all of these things. And a lot of them are always pushing back with the thought that I'm not really sure because this is not what I thought or what I expected with learning how to do here. They teach me how to do mainstream here, and I want to learn how to do more cultured here, which is who I serve. And I'm like, these are Black institutions. Like, the most of the people who are in here who are being taught are Black students. Yet the curriculum is centered around more Eurocentric here. So when I brought that conversation to you, you had a lot to say. So I wanted to bring that into this space because I think that it is very and this is where that shift for me at least comes in, and why I jumped on board to be a part of this African intelligence session, because I think it's very important, because we are becoming not the minority anymore. And that's why they're trying so hard right now to minimize, reduce how many of us are here in whatever capacity they can, whatever that looks like, so that they can have more power or more structure, more whatever that is. So talk to us, Kafele, about just your thoughts around certifications and schooling for in our community.
I believe that structure and discipline is necessary.
Absolutely.
I believe that licenses and certifications support that. They support standards, they support health, sanitation, they support those things. I desire that when it comes to those certifications and those licenses, when it comes to our cultural practices, that you consider receiving them from us.
Mm.
I'm not against licenses. I just want us to control our cultural practices.
Mm.
And I
So,
say ours, not that we have to own it, but we are the people who inspired it.
so why don't you think we should own it if we are inspiring it, if it's coming from us? Because I feel like that becomes, I know earlier you said you wanted to be a rapper. Like, all of the industries that were inspired by us have been taken over by others, and have been used for their personal gain and not to edify our community. So when you say not so much taken by us, what do you mean by that?
Ownership is a very tricky word.
Mm.
And I think that sometimes we have to re examine why we need to own anything.
Mm.
Um, Thanksgiving, mac and cheese, potato salad. These are things that we culturally do. I don't know if we need to own it, but we are the ones that, when it comes to potato salad, the grandmother of the family is the one who holds the license.
Mm.
The grandmothers and the aunts and mom are the ones who own the license to make the mac and cheese. Everybody can't do it, and we support the people who do it.
Mm. Okay. So, in that same vein, how does passing the torch from that person who has the license to, let's say, the kid or the grandchild who's up and coming, so that the license doesn't get lost?
We don't want to gatekeep the recipes
Mhm.
from the children. But the thing about gatekeeping and the thing about passing the batons
Mhm.
is we have to trust you with
Mm.
the information.
So now you're going into a whole nother area for me, because this is the area that I have been talking about, especially with our trip to Ghana that we have happening in December, right? Because we've been having a lot of conversations with individuals from Ghana, and what keeps coming up is this trust, this lack of trust for people of a certain hue, our hue, anybody who is an African American color, black, whatever you consider, call yourself as a title, that there is a issue around trust. So now you're bringing it up too in this space now around here, that trust is also a space that is kind of a concern. What do you think are ways that we might be able to get over that, so that, again, because when we don't pass it on, it starts to get lost, or we get into a space like Juneteenth where we're trying to figure out in sparse through the weeds to remember or even understand what happened.
Information not shared has no value.
Very true.
But I'm going to keep it with locks. There are a lot of people who have shared information to certain institutions that don't support us, that don't support the craft. And I want everybody to be able to be in the craft. But if you're not speaking the influence of where it comes from, that's where it gets cloudy.
Okay. So what about creating, because I'm all about not recreating a wheel, right? There are institutions already that's out there. What does advocacy look like in that same vein? Do you feel like it would be received? Do you feel like it's welcomed if we created curriculum that can be that we then, I don't want to say ask, because I feel like that's too nice, but require them to include in their certifications?
I like ask.
Okay, why? Why you
I
like
like
ask?
ask because everybody is not in this for the culture. Some people are in it for the money. Some people are not in it for the healing. Some people are in it for the hustle. And I'm not emotionally attached anymore to those things. I'm concerned that there is a group of us who have created lanes when there were no lanes. And these lanes supported people to eat. That's all I care about, is that people are eating. I don't care if you're in it for the culture. I don't care if you don't talk about certain things. We've created a lane and for people to eat, to people to live and survive. Back when I started doing locks, nobody was interested in doing locks. And now everybody and their mother literally are doing locks.
Yep, that part.
And the braiders are trying to do it. The barbers are doing it, incorporating in their practice. And like locks are now the biggest thing, and it's amazing. And I'm grateful that I feel like I've pioneered something in that creation.
Come on, martyr. Come on, be a martyr. We need that. We need more martyrs in this lifetime. Because I absolutely feel like there's so many people who are not willing to take up the torch. So again, I thank you.
Oh, because it's not their calling.
Is it not their calling, or do they
No.
feel like it's not? Because if you look at everyone who's been a martyr, they've been crucified by their own community sometimes.
Well, it's like church. Everybody doesn't have the anointing. And when you think you have it, or you think you have the calling, you have to be careful. You have to be prayerful. So Malcolm and Martin had it,
Mm-hmm.
and they were assassinated in front of their families.
Mm-hmm.
So be careful of what you ask for, and you just got to do the work. Somebody has to do the work. Sometimes there's sacrifice. The sacrifice is usually our life or a large part of our lives. And I've sacrificed a good amount of time putting this work in. And I'm still doing the work because this work keeps me alive. I want it,
Absolutely.
in my mind, I want the whole world to have locks.
Come on. I mean, I get it. People talk to me all the time. They're like, "Oh, you make me want to have locks because it looks so appealing and it looks so nice." And I'm like, I'm not exactly sure how I should take that, if that's a good thing or not. But I just say thank you and I keep it moving. Because I'm like, well, what's your expectation when it comes to that?
Because social media and the media controls the imagery.
Yeah.
They control the conversation around the aesthetic. So people are funny on how they accept locks, how they accept different locks, and how they accept the individual who chooses to wear it.
Mm. I agree. I haven't got yeah, I'm not gonna go down that road, but I definitely because that was always my fear why I didn't want to do locks. Because I'm not a smoker. I'm not into to the natural herbs and stuff like that. And so that was always my fear, that once I had locks, that people would automatically put me into that space and say that, feel comfortable. And it's like, I've done a lot to try to not to make enemies, but like, I'm not gonna make you comfortable because that's not something that I care to engage in. So but I don't want you to think, oh, because I got locks, it's like, oh, she good with it, don't worry, like she I'm like, no, I'm not. So that I know that there's still a lot of stigmas around how we wear our hair, whether it's pleated or any of those things. And I think I had shared a post with you sometime during the summer when I was in New York, and there was a dog that that had I think you remember what I'm talking about. It was a dog that was walking around by the Barclays Center, and he looked like he had locks. And I was like so appalled. I'm so offended in every form of fashion, in every way. And people were just running up to the owner. And it was a Caucasian owner, and wanting to take pictures with her dog. And then I looked it up and I saw that that's actually the natural way that this dog breeds his hair. And you were the one that told me that. And I was just like, no, they cannot. So I just want to say thank you for continuing to be in the space of educating us in the community, because we can go off on tangents. Like, I was ready, and people were ready to like, oh my gosh, that's so disrespectful. Like, people on my gram, they were going crazy about it. Like, who would do that? And that's, they always want to take from our culture. And then I had to go back and retract. And I had to be like, so actually, this is the situation. So, that cancel culture thing is real. And even in that, I do want to kind of throw it back to you with the whole reason for for creating the African intelligence, because there's a twist on it, right? We're in this AI world, and where people's jobs and livelihood are being taken over by computers. So is that something that you foresee? And I did hear about some machine that was being created that was braiding people's hair. So like, I know we're talking about African, and we're talking about AI as well. How does AI fit in the world for you when it comes to hair and culture?
So AI, artificial intelligence, is artificial, but there's nothing artificial about Black people.
Mm,
And so when I went to Dance Africa, and part of the show, there were these AI, artificial intelligent pictures on the film of kings and queens and elephants and giraffes.
mm,
I said, how can that speak to me? And I said, African intelligence.
mm. I
Let's
like
move, let's move with that.
Let's move with that. So, what makes African intelligence different from a traditional hair show or a conference?
Hmm. It's virtual. Virtual supports the need of two things: education, economy. Education, everybody is doing the work, they're doing the mechanical,
Mhm.
but there has to be a foundation of learning. There has to
Abs-
be a respect for mentoring.
Absolutely.
You have to know something before you. You have to know something before you. African intelligence supports the economy.
Hmm.
Everyone should have access to everything.
Absolutely.
If you believe in God, we should automatically have abundance.
Come on now.
African intelligence and this platform supports abundance.
Hmm.
You don't have to factor in your budget to afford a rental space, a liquor license, a vendor space,
Mhm.
a plane ticket, a hotel,
Hmm.
child care, pet
Hmm.
care. African intelligence creates a platform where you have access and you have abundance at the same damn time.
Hmm. Come on now.
So, yes, thank you to all of the other hair shows globally, domestically, who created a foundation for me not to only see, but to be a part of.
Hmm.
I was not only a part of natural hair shows, I was part of the cosmetology shows. I
Nice.
was part of the IBS show. I was part of the Bronner Brothers show. I was part of um, the beauty shows across the world that did not support natural hair.
Hmm.
I infiltrated those shows so that natural hair had a voice, that our
Ooh.
hair would be acknowledged and represented. And so now you don't complain about the shows of the past, you honor them, you
Absolutely.
respect them,
Absolutely.
and then you move into the space of leadership and you push the culture forward.
Oh, I know there was some reasons why we work so well together. Because I'm always been in that space of infiltration as well. Like, going into a space, understanding it, how it is created, and then how can we do it our way, the culturally efficient, effective way of doing it. And being able to teach what has worked, and bring what has worked into the space as well, instead of starting again, like I said, recreating that wheel. So I thank you for sharing that. We're going to take a little pause right here. Before we go any further, I want to pause and acknowledge someone who played a foundational role in shaping the thought leadership behind African intelligence as a thought partner with you, Thando. And that is, we tried to play a little bit earlier, but I think we're ready to go. And we can play the video from Makeba. While she's not here with us today, she still wanted to have her voice be present. We wanted her to be in the space as well. So let's take a moment to hear from Makeba.
I am Makeba, and while I can't be live with you all today, it is important to me to still be a part of this conversation because African intelligence is deeply personal to me. Yeah, when we started talking about African intelligence, it wasn't about creating another event. It was about asking a bigger question. Who gets access to knowledge, visibility, opportunity in the hair industry, and who doesn't? Going virtual wasn't a backup plan, it was a strategic decision. Virtual allows us to remove barriers, geographics, cost, time, and it replaces them with access, intention, community, and it allows educators to teach without gatekeeping, learners to show up without sacrificing anything else in their lives. Yes. You know, hair carries science, hair carries culture, hair carries memory, health, identity, and business. African intelligence exists because here deserves to be treated with the same respect we give to other fields of study with depth, rigor, and care. You know, as one of the founding thought organizers behind African intelligence, my role has been to help shape the why, the intention behind the education, the competitions, and the recognition. This isn't about creating something that goes away. It's about creating something that lasts beyond a single moment or an event. If you're watching this and you ever felt that your knowledge, your craft, or your voice deserves more space, this was built with you in mind. I'm grateful to be a part of this work. I'm excited for what you all experience as African intelligence continue to unfold. Thank you so much for being a part of the conversation. Thank you for believing that the future of here can be more accessible, more intentional, and more intelligence. Thank you.
Yes, yes. I love it. So thoughts. What do you think about what Makeba shared? And what inspired you to partner with Makeba?
I've known Makeba for a very long time. She is a veteran. She is a educator, and she is a pioneer in her own right. Um, what made me decide to partner with Makeba? Since I've known her, she's always been honest. She's always been in integrity. And I believe that nothing moves forward without the support of Black women.
Come on now.
So, yes, I may be a face or the thought around it, but nothing happens unless we get the support of our sisters, not behind us, beside us. And so, for a long time, these beauty spaces have been led by the sisters.
Mm-hmm.
They are the ones who create, form beauty conversations.
Absolutely.
But now in 2026, let's have a little shift and give the brothers some energy and acknowledge how we contribute and support the beauty space. So, African intelligence not only will be the first virtual natural hair show, it will be the first led by a man. And so it's going to be a different energy around it. It's going to be a different feel around it. Some different thoughts and suggestions. That's going to be different.
Yeah. And we love different. Look, we are in an age that the only thing consistent is movement. So we have to continue to keep moving, not be stagnant in anything that we're doing. So I appreciate that thought, and it wasn't until you shared it that I did not even realize. Like, yeah, you're right. All of the industries, especially centered around beauty, are at the forefront. There are females, but a lot of times in the background are the men, because they're they might be the financial powers or all of those things. So this is the first time where someone is saying, "Hey, I'm in the front. I'm in the front and alongside." Again, that and, not the or, the and. I'm alongside some powerful Black females who are also able to come to the table and share what we want to have seen in our community, right?
But
So I appreciate that.
I'm piggybacking off of the Black barber energy.
Mm,
I'm piggybacking off of Bronner Brothers.
okay.
I'm piggybacking off of Dr. Willie Morrow and those men who pioneered those spaces. I'm doing what's next.
The next best thing. So I
Yes.
want to talk a little bit about, thank you for sharing that. And I want to go into the fact that this is virtual, allows us to have a global impact. Can you share a little bit about what you envision a global impact of African Intelligence Forum will be?
That everybody has access.
Mm-hmm.
African Intelligence will give you a platform of motivational speakers, cultural speakers, braiders, barbers, weave artists, veterans, Gen Zs, content creators from not only the United States, but we got a speaker from London,
Mm,
and we have the possibility of a speaker from Puerto Rico and Africa. So, yes, I handpicked, strategically selected speakers and educators because everybody can do hair, but not everybody can teach. And so the invitations came to people who I believe deserve this platform and have something powerful to say.
okay. Can you drop some names? Who do we have on the list? I know we've been talking to a couple of people as of lately, but who do we have on the list that as speakers?
We have Brother Al Mays, who is
Hmm.
a veteran barber from Virginia. He teaches barbering from a cultural perspective. I want people to get an opportunity to hear the history of barbering as it
Hmm.
pertains to us.
Hmm. I like that.
He was also a guest um, at my NYU residency. We're gonna have the legendary, the icon, Jane Carter,
Oh,
who who created Jane Carter Solutions and now is making her comeback, her return with
okay.
Jane Carter Evolved. We have Morris Roots. Morris is the king of lock in London.
Hey,
You
look, see,
know,
no competition, collaboration.
there's more than one king in this industry.
Come on.
and he's definitely one of them. Um, and we have a couple of surprises. You
Mm-hmm.
know, we are depending and excited about Cassidy Bridges, who
Nice.
will probably be the youngest speaker at 8 years old.
I am so excited about that one. Oh my gosh, I can't wait.
And she has a consciousness at 8. So yes.
Well, I know I got a 9-year-old 10, so she real verbal with it. So I can understand. So I said I can't wait, especially to be so entrenched in her culture and be able to share her story. I'm looking forward to that.
And
Uh,
that's another bullet point for
mm-hmm,
African intelligence, because at the hair show, there is usually a age restriction or
mm,
children are not allowed. So you no longer have to be restricted to spectator. Everybody gets to participate. The children, the adults, the seniors, even if you don't have hair. You get to listen, you get to learn, you get to be a part of the conversation.
mm. I like that. So now I know that. Can you walk us through the event? Is going to be 2 days. It's going to be January, February 15th and 16th. So right after Valentine's Day. So you get your sweetheart gone on the 14th, and then the 15th and 16th be in front of the screen. So what can people expect on the 15th, on that Sunday?
On the Sunday, you will expect hair show. That's what hair show is about. 50% hair and 50% show. You can't have a lot of hair and no show. You can't have a lot of show and no hair. So the second day is entertainment. The first day is education. The second day, you will receive a lock competition, a braid competition, and a barber competition.
Mm,
The lock competition, the only request is that you follow the guidelines of Kufele, which simply means no fake hair.
okay. Now I
The
know there's a little twist too with this competition because they're not going to be judges. So like, how is that going to work?
the community is usually regulated to spectator. So now there will be no judges, and there will be a polling system where the community will decide who gets the prize.
I love that. It takes away a lot of that the stigmatisms, the like, oh, they, they knew me in another world, they didn't like me, that's the reason why they rated me lower, all of that stuff. And it's like, now if you did 100 a couple of thousand people wrong, then maybe you deserve what you get.
And
At that
and
point.
that influence or that part of the event was because that's how the King of Lock came about.
Mm,
The King of Lock was not self-proclaimed.
got
I
it.
didn't give that to myself. It was given to me.
Mm,
And the community embraced it. So we're going back to the community and we're
nice.
asking them to crown the next braid star, the next lock star, the next chop star.
All right. Okay. So if I am a student at a school, can I participate in the competition? Like I don't have
Absolutely.
a I don't have my certifications, right? Can I still participate?
The community certifies you to participate. The culture certifies you to participate.
Hmm.
And so jump in. This is not about winning and losing. You're a winner before you even show up. You're a winner to want to be a part of something that supports you, that supports your culture, African, that supports your intelligence, that supports what you're up to and moving forward. So you're a winner before you even sign up. But
Mm,
we want you to participate because competitions are simply exercises in creativity.
mm. I
You
love that.
want to you want to meet your peers. You want to see what other people are doing. You want to see your growth and creativity. You want to be inspired by other people. I didn't become the trend-setting loctician just by looking at other locticians. I was inspired by braiders.
Mm,
I sought out collaborations with barbers. I looked at shapes and design, and they were things that inspired me to elevate the craft.
like that. I love that because this is truly about shared growth, is what I'm hearing. For everything, for everyone who's watching, African intelligence isn't just something that we are going to be able to observe. It's something that we will be participating in. And I'm really excited about that. So, whether you're a stylist, a student, educator, school, supporter of the culture, there is going to be space for you. That's what I'm hearing from you. And
And
go ahead.
I
Who
just
am I
wanted to
missing
talk
somebody?
ab-
Sure.
I just wanted to talk about the braid and the barber
Okay.
competition.
Sure.
So the braid competition, you will have the opportunity to have additives and extensions.
Hmm.
But we are looking for culture and not fantasy.
Mm.
So there's so many braid competitions that are framed around fantasy.
Hmm.
The funny thing is, culture and fantasy can be intertwined,
Mm.
but the braid platforms always promote fantasy.
So when
They
you say
never,
fantasy, are you meaning like styles that wouldn't typically be worn, or would it be something? What do you mean by fantasy?
I'm not sure. Because fantasy and culture can be intertwined. But the braid competitions always promote fantasy and they never promote culture.
Mm,
And so when I say culture, what we are looking for is your African best.
mm.
I want your braid style to excite the ancestors.
Come on, wake them up. Wake up,
I
Harriet.
I want your braid style to support the culture. I want you to envision how you would show up if you're invited to do the cover of Essence magazine.
Okay. Now we got like a minute or so, and I want you to talk about the barber competition as well, and then close us out.
We're
What
looking for
so
you to show up in excellence. There are millions and millions and millions and millions of barbers, and it takes a lot of creativity and drive and vision to separate yourself from the rest.
mm,
So, if you know anything about the artistry of Mr. Kyle Bullock, if you know anything about the artistry of Mr. Doug Tompkins,
mm,
um, the young new superstar Richie Rich,
mm.
these are the barbers who have put the work in, created a signature way of barbering, and made names for themselves. That's what we're looking for. Show up and show out and be African intelligent.
Oh, come on. So, do you have any last words, or what do you hope that people say this moment helped to unlock for them?
This is Black History. This will be in Black History Month.
Mhm.
This will be groundbreaking. This will be the first of its kind, inaugural. Support us. We're always talking about support us, putting money back into the community, supporting us, keeping our cultural birthrights alive. This is a new beginning. Register, support, and support takes courage.
Absolutely.
Oh, I don't really do natural hair. Purchase a ticket. Purchase a ticket for someone else. Support. Even in discomfort, support.
So, and how do people get tickets?
AfricanIntelligence.com. You go to the website. There are levels of tiers as far as ticket prices. There are registrations for the competitions. There are spaces to be a speaker. There are spaces to be sponsors.
Absolutely. I love that. And I think one of those is VIP, and they get special. We got some really great sponsors that are in the pipeline, I heard, that are going to be giving some products and samples and all kind of stuff. So I definitely suggest, and we only taking 150 of those VIP individuals, right? So,
and the thing about the VIP is that when you go to the traditional hair show, you have to really make an effort to remember the things that you learn. And in these classes, you are not allowed to videotape. Sure. African Intelligence gives you the opportunity to access replays of all of the speakings. Unheard of. Never been done before.
Absolutely.
So you will pay $99 for the VIP, for the gift bags, for the access to the replays. But what you're really getting is $99,000 worth of information.
Love that. That right there. That is king, pun intended. That is king, pun intended. With Thando, thank you so much for your vision. This was really great. It was great to have a conversation with you, just talking about everything that you had to share. Your leadership is unfounded in your commitment to the culture. We really heard that here on today. So thank you. And thank you to everyone who joined us on today. This Lunch and Learn is just the beginning. This is the first one for the year, y'all. So be sure to visit our website, explore how to attend, compete, or become an affiliate, which we didn't really talk about. But if you want to become an affiliate, the information is on the website. Stay connected with us, build something powerful so that we can be great together. So we are very much thankful for all of your and for the extra time that you gave us. Be blessed, everyone. And let's do this. Let's be rooted in culture, powered by knowledge, and designed for our future. God bless.
Thank you.
From the roots of tradition to the rise of reconnection, where history meets the heart of Africa. Celebrate freedom, culture, and homecoming. This isn't just a trip, it's a return. The motherland is calling. Will you answer?